Hey, happy Monday, 7th grade. Here is your problem of the day. Hit pause, copy everything down, and give it a try. All right, I am guessing that you hit pause, you wrote everything down, you attempted this problem of the day. This is just it's basically another proportion problem. You need to set up your proportion and label it. So, for example, I would take my first part of the statement, 24 points in 3 games, and I'm going to make that a ratio or fraction. So I'm going to write 24 over 3, and I'm going to put P for points, 24 points, and then I'm going to put G for the games, okay? All right, we set up our other side. It says how many in one game on average. So one game, where's that one going to go? Correct, it's going where the G is, right? So it's going on the bottom. When we put our variable on the top, I could put P, or I could use X, it doesn't really matter. And then we just solve our proportion like we've been practicing. So I do 3 times P is 3P, always do the variable first. 24 times 1 is 24. Separate your equation. And remember your goal in the equation, get this variable by itself. So I have 3 times P. The inverse operation is divide by 3. If we do it to one side, we do it to the other. 3's cancel out, and I get P equals 8. So, how many points did we get in one game? About 8 points, right? And we know it's points because it says P right there, right? Points equals 8. So, if could be a basketball game, right? Maybe Mr. Habercorn played 3 basketball games. He got 24 points. We want to know how many points he got per game. On an average is about 8, right? About 8 points per game. Okay. So this actually leads up into right what we're doing today. So we'll write down notes for 921. And our objective today is unit rates. And this is a big part of proportions. So unit rates, it says, has a denominator of 1. And if you look at our problem today, we just did a unit rate problem. So this is going to be easy. We already know what to do. You want to make your denominator 1 and figure out what the other value is, right? And why do we do unit rates? Well, if you wanted to figure out someone's average points per game, notice that word per game. Whenever they say per game, that means for one game. That's how you figure it out. Now, the unit rate that we use the most isn't points per game. It's whenever you get in a car. It's miles per hour, right? So if I wanted to say how fast you're going, I wouldn't say you were going 48 miles per 4 hours, right? I want to know how many miles you're moving per hour. That's how they figure out speed. And your car computes that automatically. But if you went 48 miles in 4 hours, let's see how fast you were going. So we got to figure out how many miles per hour. So if they would just say either find the unit rate, or they might say find your miles per hour, MPH, right? So that's what a unit rate is. You're finding how much is it for 1. So I would write my first fraction just like we've been doing, or ratio, 48 over 4. We want to label that. The 4 stands for hours. I'm going to put H. The 48 stands for miles. And when they say miles per hour, that per means for 1 hour. So I'm going to put a 1 in the hours. So 1 goes here. I can use any letter I want here. Doesn't matter, any variable. Cross multiply and solve it. 4 times x is 4x. 48 times 1 is 48. Solve our equation by getting our variable by itself. You guys are getting probably really fast at these by now. Divide each side by 4. And I know you could do these in your head, but I still want you to show your work. I promise you it'll help you later in the year when we do longer algebra problems. Cross those out, and I get x equals 12. So how fast was someone moving here? They were moving 12 miles per hour, right? Not very fast if you're in a car. Pretty fast if you're running. It's probably about bike speed maybe. All right. So that's one way we use unit rates. The other one is finding averages. Some other ways we're going to be using unit rates coming up, not today, probably Tuesday and Wednesday, is going to be figuring out costs of items. So say you're buying a box of cereal for $2.39 for 12 ounces of cereal. You want to figure out the cost of that cereal. You figure out how much it costs for 1 ounce. Okay, so we set up your proportion the same way. We'll talk about those more tomorrow though, but that's what's coming up. So unit rate, you're always going to want to put a 1 on the bottom after you make your first fraction. And so you're going to have 5 problems today. They're going to start off, and your goal is make your fraction, and then put a 1 on the bottom of the second one for every single problem, right, for the unit rate problems. All right, you guys have a great day. Hope you all had a great weekend, and we will see you tomorrow.